Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Since the auditors are around, the House review.
Yes, sir.
Then we'll start from where we stopped. Introduction from you and your team, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Oremi Joyner, the chairperson of Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
Good morning, Honorable. I am Salum Malang, Managing Director of Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
Good morning. Alhaji Aliu Fall, Insurance Representative Board Member.
Good morning. My name is Ansman Atue. I'm the Deputy MD.
Good morning. My name is C.D. Khan, General Manager, Gambia Transport Service Company.
Good morning. I am Nurullah, Director of Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
Good morning. My name is Judy Jien, SSMIS Consultancy. My name is Taribo Yassi. I am the Senior Operations Manager, Social Security.
Good morning. My name is Ademola Kimolishiri, Finance Manager, West African Nation Group.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Tila Thomas. I'm the Acting Director of Information Technology, SSHC.
Good morning. My name is Abdul Silla, Director of Housing and Social Security.
Good morning. My name is Sekou Senior Procurement Manager, Social Security.
Good morning. My name is Augustus Brown Jr., External Auditor Augustus Brown.
Good morning. I'm Fabu Kanjai, Director of Corporate Affairs, Social Security.
Good morning. I am Baba Kaya, Senior Finance Manager, Social Security.
Good morning. My name is Bubakar Jade, Senior Legal Manager, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Dr. Yambuwa Imani, Director of HR and Admin, Social Security.
Morning. My name is Pierre Gomez, Director of Research and Policy Planning, Social Security.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Hadisala. I am the Director of Finance and Investment, Social Security.
Mr. Chairman, before we go into business, I just want to wish you all Happy New Year. A very prosperous one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Next on the itinerary is the administration of affirmation of oath. Some of you during the presentation have taken oath. If anybody who wants to contribute who is not under the oath can raise up, the clerk will come to administer the oath. If anybody who wants to contribute can take the oath, clerk, go over. Let's do it group.
Dodo, were you here the last time? Those are the two.
They are still on the oath.
Yes. Tell me, they are three numbers. Tell me what's stand up. And now you can read after them. No, they are the three, huh? Okay.
I'll speak the truth.
I'll speak the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you for the oath taking, Mr. Chairman. Still, all of you who are going to participate, the previous oath you have taken still remain, and we want to continue with that. I want to thank you for the compliance issue. Notwithstanding, we want to have a lot of discussion based on the report that are presented before us. The content from the activity to the management letter and the financial statement. There are a lot of issues that we want to discuss and get some clarity. As far as we are concerned, we want to exhaust everything. We were in visit during the last committee engagement. All these things were presented, and we had a thorough scrutiny of these reports, which I would like to open the floor for members to come on board and start asking questions. Unless anybody who want to take, who want to respond, because all our questions are going to be directed to the chairman, and you can give them opportunity to come and respond, especially people that are sector biased relating to what is observed in the reports here. Based on that, I will now open the floor for members to come on board. Anybody? Yes, Honorable Jallo.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. My first question would start at page 37. Page 37 of the management letter. That is on the purchases of buses, improvement to the public transport system. We have been informed from the auditors. I will start from A. Contract of euros 18.1 million signed before board approval. Honorable Chair, if you look at what the auditors inform us, that 18.1 million euro was signed before approval. I want to know why the board was disregarded on this transaction. And the other point, the 18 million was supposed to be 100 buses. And we are informed an addendum was made to the contract, that is 17 August 2022, to supply 50 buses. We have an initial contract of 18 million to purchase 100 buses, but we have seen along the road, it was recommended for 50 buses, which is 9.18 million euro. So, since the original contract also have, they could not honor the original contract, we can see they automatically went and purchased 50 buses. I want to know again, where in this situation again, whether the board was informed, because at the beginning we are informed they were actually disregarded. Then, Honorable Chair, on the same issue, that is bullet point B, we are informed, you know you have A, we are informed loan agreement not maintained. That means what was discussed at the beginning, was not maintained. And we are informed on the 12th August 2022, a letter was written to the Managing Director from the Office of the Vice President to upgrade the public transport system. And on the 17th August 2022, Social Security, Housing, Finance and Corporation responded, stating that this will be a loan to government payable in 5 years at an interest rate of 6%, making it a yearly payment of 132 million. I want to know whether this is honored, this payment plan in the agreement. But Honorable Chair, if you move further to the same paragraph, we are informed there was another letter dated 15 December 2022 received by Social Security from the Office of the Vice President, stating that the conclusions with the relevant government stakeholders on the supply of 70 buses, another issue that have caused another contradiction. We need a clarification on this one. From 100 buses to 50 buses, 50 buses to 70 buses.
Complete that plan. On 70 buses.
On 70 buses for the public transport, you are hereby advised to redirect the loan agreement to GTSC. We need a thorough clarification on this issue. Honorable Chair, let me stop here for the meantime until we hear what will be their explanation.
Mr. Chairman, the questions are all yours now.
I want to thank the Honorable to point out this to us, or for the benefit of us who are in this room. It is no hidden secret, but I'll just give a brief synopsis of what transpired, and I will ask the MD to deliberate more on it. In a nutshell, pertaining to the involvement of the board, this was seen as an investment, not to buy the buses, but as an investment loan to government. And based on that, the board was, I would say, not informed, because the management has the right to invest in government sureties and all whatnot. But it turned out that when the board got the wind of it, we summoned a meeting and the board was duly informed. And we had stated, I guess the auditor will do some clarification on that, because there's a letter on, for transparency purposes, we published, we gave the auditors everything pertaining to this. We had funds sitting, and the investment returns then was about 3%. So management felt it's prudent enough to invest and have 6% after negotiating with government. And it was a loan to government. It was a loan to government. Now the issue of transferring the debt to GSTC was never discussed at the time. It was when they were to make payments pertaining to the buses that this directive to redirect the loan to GTSC. We vehemently refused and said GTSC never approached us for a loan, so we cannot take it to them. or ask them that the burden is now on you. That would have been too simplistic to do. We, amongst ourselves, we discussed that we should not renege, we should continue and ask government to pay. For all these years, up to today, we've been trying to get the government to pay because we are not seeing it as a loan to GTSC. And I have made personal interventions to talk to the relevant ministry to see how they can accommodate us and have this loan being paid as was agreed upon. So far, it wasn't going to be anything worth talking about because we never had any headway. We spoke to the SOE Commission. We put our cards on the table face up. They too have tried, but I think I don't have any evidence to that, but I think we were informed that it will be in the budget of this year to start paying us from government. But I don't think that is on the table now because it seems as if it was not in the budget. So we are lumbered with that, but we are pursuing it. And I would stop here and give the MD the chance to, because he appended his signature on the contract. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Honorable. Okay, like my chairman rightly said, Honorable Jallo, your questions are very well, and I like you all those questions because it's important that we clarify this issue to the general public, especially the National Assembly. Government approached social security to buy 100 buses. Then I was new in office. We looked at it, but we are not convinced to buy buses for social security because social security has no need to buy buses. We told the government we can only give it as a loan. We cannot buy buses out of our funds. And at the time, like Chairman said, we are close to $500 million lying every in the banks, not being invested because banks are not taking investment. The best you can get is 1%, 2%. Sometimes you write and they don't even respond, but then it was very volatile. So when that happened, we see that as an opportunity now. These monies are lying down here. One on us to buy buses, which we are going to do. But instead, we can now give them as a loan because those monies were meant to be invested as term deposits to commercial banks or to buy civil responses from CBD, central government, to CBD. So when the professor they agreed, but in December we told them that we cannot finance 100 buses, it can only be 50. But there was the amount of money that was lying at the time, not used. So this was seen as an opportunity, money that could not be invested to be invested. So that's why the loan was given to government at 6%. That was the highest rate for consecutively 12 months. That was the highest rate for consecutively 12 months. The records are there to do so. So this was an investment. And normally investments don't go to the board. Term deposits, don't go to the board. So this was treated as such. So the question of 100 buses was set at the beginning. But Swasi already said they cannot finance 100 buses. They can only buy 50. But there was the money that was lying. You just have to add a little to it in the middle of the field. When that was signed, then sometime later, the process was good. Then the government came back on us again, saying that UTG is going to be transferred and there will be trouble in the country. The bus will not be enough. So they said they want extra 20 buses. So that 20 buses was sent to the board because already at non-by license, 20 told them that we cannot accept it, it has to go to the board. It went to the board accepted the extra 20, making it 70. So that's how the total became 70 bosses. And along the line, the data that was discussed to 20 bosses, already 50 bosses procurement was already completed due for shipment. That's the time that these 20 bosses came. So we told them that the 20 bosses has already been committed. So the direct slow to GTSC is your choice. But we already committed the 50 bosses. So as far as sourcing is concerned, that in terms of the government, do not change the terms of the contract from a legal perspective. And in-house legal officer here who was able to, advise along those lines. So there's a very contract with social security and as a person corporation. So the contract itself is twofold. You have the hardware and software. The hardware is the bosses with all the facilities, But there are also some other components, like the thermocar, digitalizing the transportation, was all part of this contract. The bus stops. So it's not only on bus alone, it's like a bus with a whole lot of facilities. So giving that loan to government now, we did not complete the supply. If you supply the hardware, you have to supply the software. The software was only completed in July, August, when it was during the avocado was launched. Until that time, we did not even finish paying the supplier his money. We came, so we pay based on the terms of the contract. The final payment was made just a month or two back. After paying that final payment, Social Security wrote to government clearly in a letter, the copy of it was into the National Audit Office, that we give a loan as you requested, and these are the benefits that this person is going to give you. We list all the benefits of these bosses and facilities. The community gave the Gambia as a country. The community gave DDEC as the major public transport, entity in the organization. But we already indicated that negotiation between government and GTSC is in order, is correct, because GTSC being the beneficiary should not get it all for free. But Social Security has nothing to do with that one, because GTSC is a separate legal entity with its own management. So they can continue negotiating with them along those lines, but that will not stop us from asking for our money. Whatever they decide is up to them. But as we are concerned, we've completed the supply of all the 70%, all the facilities that it is going now. Now we are now asking for payment of our money. And that was the time that SOE Council was also engaged, like as briefed by my chairman. I hope I have answered the questions. You can still ask me further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Huh? Can I ask this first?
You want to ask?
Supplement.
You want to ask?
Yes.
Yeah, me also have supplementary.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, after listening to their responses, I will start with the response of the MD, because he told us they were having money lying in the banks. This is why they entered into this agreement. But if you looked at the information we got, the idea of investment does not come from Social Security. And it means that the idea, you sit down as a management, you discuss an idea, how to invest that money. I will agree with you. But in this case, the idea of investment does not come from your management. It is a directive. You are acting from a directive. It's not from Social Security sitting as a management. Let's look at these funds and invest. But a communication was sent to your office. So, meaning if you tell me you have money lying in the banks is because of investment, I will definitely disagree. Then the other issue, that is the board chair. You inform us the reason why you are not informed is because of you are going in, you are going, how to call it, it is an investment. But the board is very important in the institution, in every institution. Any decision that the management should take, especially each amount of money like this, the board need to know.
It should be subject to the approval.
There should be the consent of the board in this matter should be actually how to call it, requested, because it's a huge amount of money. And again, you remember, these are personal money, these are people's money. So if the management alone decided to go for 18 million or 18 million euro contract, surely it is important for the management to be put in the picture. So can you...
Chairman, before you respond, I just want to add something related to this question, especially when you come to the issue of the board. Board is the supreme oversight institution, and such an investment should be subject to the approval of the board. I just want to inquire whether there were any investment appraisal done by Social Security before issuing this loan, whether there was an investment appraisal. Okay.
Thank you very much, Honourables, for the questions. Question one, you said is Mr. Honorable said it's an investment. For investment, it has to go through money seat and this. You have to invest in this one, in this particular activity. Investment can be both term deposit and it can be 2 weeks. The investment we are talking about here, we call it investment because investment is what you pour in to get something back. Isn't it? That's what investment was all about. Just like a farmer, you pour in, you reap more what you pour. In this case, government wants us to give them a loan. The directive was already torn down by what the fact that management told government that we cannot buy buses for GDSC. Before my comment as MD, Graham bought 50 buses for GDSC out of Social Security money, not a loan. My dad bought 25 buses out of Social Security money to buy buses. When it came my time, you don't buy 100 buses. I look at the numbers, I look at the whole thing, and I say, no, I can't buy buses. At that time, I feel it's not in the interest of the Social Security to invest in buses. Because public transport, we all know, is not very profitable. So I cannot risk pensioners' funds in an investment that may not yield returns. So I told government that blank, yet I cannot do that. But since it's a very important issue, and we cannot give it as a loan, because that time, like I told you, monies were lying down, idle. So for me, it's an investment opportunity. And it's an investment is what you grow in to get something back. If you are going to buy term deposit, boss would never have been informed. Boss was never informed, was never involved in investments of that nature. Term deposits, treasury bills, is entirely money activity. So it was indeed an investment, and the board was never involved. But when the issue came out and the board raised eyebrows, I apologize. I never knew because I have never seen in the history of Social Security any time that investment of term deposit doesn't go to the board to be endorsed. It's a money activity. And the board accepted the plea and they signed it. Coming to the question of investment appraisers, if you are investing in term deposit, you don't do all the appraisals you do. You look at the interest rate, the tax prevailing. Which bank is going to pay you more? That is just that's what you look at. And here this government is paying more because nobody was even asking in our term investments much more to talk about rates. The rates between at the time in the market that time was 1%. The maximum was 3%. Sometimes monies you write to banks, they don't respond to you. And this issue was captured in my one-year report, which you can refer to as mathematical evidence. Well, one-year report that after one in office, this issue was also mentioned in there. So therefore, as a prudent investor, you have money land on your coffers. You are supposed to invest in, and you know that you go to pay pensioners when they pension, and that money you have there, something should be auditory. It's line idle. So best thing you can do, I thought in my small mind, is to invest this money, and this is the only opportunity that I've seen that I can use and get the highest return, that is 6%. So under that circumstances, that was the best thing management could have done. That's what we did.
Yes.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, let us deal with this for the MD, then he can come in. Honorable Chair, let me make a follow-up on this question. MD, did you say on record here that monies were sitting in the banks idling without investment by Social Security? Is that what you say?
Yes, with the money serenity. And there's investment. Monies were there. That's what I mean. I found money in there.
So,
in the coffers.
MD, what are your roles as a managing director when that huge amount of money sits in the bank, in your accounts? Did you tell us you cannot invest the money?
Investment, like Honorable Samadjalo said.
No. What I mean is, money sitting in your account, idling, and as a managing director, withhold the management of the Social Security. You could not invest it until you wait for government to come, you give it to them? Is that what you're telling us? You could not invest that money?
That's a question I answer.
I have asked.
Thank you very much. You don't get a one day and conceive investment one day, invest one day, make profit one day. It's only a crazy businessman who will do that. So as I say, we get contributions being paid, but it accumulates. As it accumulates to a certain level, some are matured, some will mature. Some that you do last year will mature this year, they'll be there for you. What you do, you put them together, and then you advertise to all the commercial banks in a competitive bidding. They apply, you look at the highest interest rate, who cover the highest interest rate, you invest in that. That's what we do. You have to be like between here and there, but those things you don't talk with them overnight. So this particular time, unfortunately, the economy was in turmoil. Banks were scarce of taking investment, but interest rate was not stable at the time, and monies were compiling. As soon as the investment in one bank matures, that money is taken and dumped in your account, line item. Banks, we are not going to take interest rate, and the most you can get is 1%, 2%. So if you are selling opportunity for 6%, you will, as a smart businessman, you will grab that opportunity. And knowing that it is like a treasury bill, because the most secure investment as far as I'm concerned in finance is treasury bill, because it is government guarantee. What I like in finance.
MD.
And this one too, monies were there, piling up, banks were not taking them. And it will not take you 1 or 2 days to invest to go and build a house or board. It will take you another 3 or so to 6 months to plan a serious investment in housing or in anything else. You don't want to wait for that long, because that time you are wasting is time value of money. You are not putting anything on those monies, so it's like a waste. So the first order that comes your way is what you take. And as I'm concerned, this was the first order that comes my way with the highest interest rate, and we pump in the money in there.
MD,
yeah.
Is bank the only place for you to invest monies for Social Security?
It's not, but it will take you 3 or 6 months to put money somewhere else than the bank.
Does it matter? What I'm asking about investment, for the period it takes, is not what I'm talking about for now. You told us the monies were sitting in the banks idling without investment. Social Security management sit before us to tell us we have money and we don't know how to invest the money.
Because
the banks were not taking, taking investments at that point in time. No, come on, we cannot understand that.
I never understand. You can't understand. Those money were meant to be invested in banks, and the banks are not willing to take them back because they are not sure the interest they are going to pay to you, they may not get that in return. So it was number to you now, and that situation now, you don't have any option for immediate solution. Or then you have short-term and long-term investment. These are short-term investments. Long-term investment will take you to a minimum of 3 to 6 months before you can invest those monies. So the only opportunity for you now is for short-term investment, and that's why investment the banks are not willing to take. So this is the first opportunity that comes your way. That is why you put it in there. Yes, you are right, but don't think that money has been there for 10 or 5 years. No. We get money weekly and monthly. Monthly contributions are coming. If you live there for a month or 2 or 3, it piles up. And the time I came as MD, those money are already there. Not in my time. Financial research to me. She came to when I was doing that. Once I had in the bank, we don't have more to do with it. Banks are not taking. She can attest to that one. Banks are not willing to take investment because these are very low. It becomes a headache for me. How do I escape that one? And this thing came my way. I saw it as an opportunity. We are working on a housing, our low cost, building in Dhaka or whatever, but those things you don't just get up one day and put money in there. Those things has to be planned. And now you have a need now. This money land that we do here now, you must use it. Or every day that passes by, you are losing money because you are not making anything on it. And your survival depends on that. That is why the first that comes our way is to put money in these bourses because that's the high interest that we had. And as we are concerned, guaranteed by government is like a treasury bill at the time. That's why we're not saying that.
Okay, I think we had enough. Relating to this particular issue, if you look at the financial statement, page 26, basis of qualified opinion. Financial statement. Basis of qualified opinion. At the tail end of the sixth line, 26, where it stated that on the 1st January 2023, furthermore, there was another letter dated 15th December 2022 received by Social Security from the Office of the Vice President stating that following the conclusions with the relevant government stakeholders on the supply of 70 buses to GTSC for public transport, you are hereby advised to redirect the loan agreement to GTSC. So that is why you have a qualified opinion, which means it's not good. So now government is using GTSC that is running at a loss. They appeared before us last time here that they are not maximizing any profit. So which means is it GTSC that is going to pay for the government? It's such a huge investment of such magnitude, giving it to the government, which to me is not very much clear because government now is redirecting you to redirect the loan aspect to GTSC. And what is the status quo right now? Is it the government or the GTSC that is going to pay? And when is it really going to start to recover this money of the taxpayers?
Thank you very much, Honorable. It is government that is going to pay the money. Because legally, and I like the fact that you are comfortable, and I am happy with that because that is very encouraging for us on concern. But legally, to put at the proposed zone, government is legally binding on this loan. The documents. That is a legal opinion. That is legal.
But do we have all the documentation related to that? Where they sign?
Indeed, because there is often acceptance in this contract, about often acceptance. And even those themselves have called the company, they already reported, they already indicated that there is already a contract based on the principle of often acceptance. But the cause for concern is government directing the loan to GTSC. and the legal opponent is telling you that yes, that's the government has to do that with EDSC, but that does not exonerate them from taking responsibility of this loan legally, still legally binding on them. And for the start of the payment, like I told you, okay, that's the first question. The second question you read was about the commencement of the payment. Like I told you, this contract is not like by bosses before. This is like revitalizing the public transport system of the Gambia as a country, because it goes in both hardware and software for the first time in the history of this sub-region. Okay, so until you finish delivering whatever you have in government, you do not necessarily have the local standard to be forcing them to pay. Now that, as I already reported, once we have completed the payment of these facilities to the supplier and the thermocard is launched and we finish now, we wrote to government formally informing them that.
Yes.
No, I want attention. It's okay. I want attention.
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay.
No, you can go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the first question I declare that legally this contract is between government and social security. That was legal opinion. So to put people at the compost zone, you have to do which I like very much. But to put a compost zone legally, there's a bank contract between government and social security. And you know what we actually have done with the contract? Say a contract for the government, it has to be easy or a liability. The contract is often accepted. So all the principles are factored in there. But we know what we are doing. We put it at the proposal and it's confirmed legally both by the auditor and our legal opinion. The second issue is when is commencement going to start? I told you that the commencement has to start will be final note to the government that we have now completed our part of the bargain. The hardware is supplied, the software is also supplied as agreed, and we've paid supply. The last payment we paid supply. On that note, we are requesting you to start paying the loan as agreed. And the board shall just inform you that the issue was disposed at the LSOE commission. So the board is Minister of Finance. How do they work out on the payment? So for Erika, legally is binding between GDS, social security and government. Secondly, commencement is already should start now. We already wrote to them end of 2 months back to start paying because we are paying part of the budget. Whether they honor their part by honor, that's another issue. Thank you very much.
Okay, if upon completion we would like to get this document supplied to us so that we can also look at it.
Sorry?
The documentation, the contract agreement with the government.
Okay.
Honorable Jiva, you may proceed.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, MD. MD, in regard to what you are saying about the investment, that you said, and the monies were lying there. So that being the case, I want to understand this. As per the observations that was raised by the auditors, it is the government that wanted to ask you to go into this. Not you seeing the necessity of utilizing that money. And in that we have series of engagement from the 100 buses from cater to 50, rose again to 70. And again, as you have said, that you could, as management, you can work on the investment without maybe forming the board. But along the line also, you realize that the board was also involved again into approval. So we want to understand this. One, the directives from Office of the Vice President. We want to get all those letters from the beginning down to 16th of August. And again also in the reverse, also the 17th. And again also, we also have another reverse on the 18th based on agreement up to the 1st. We want to be of this because it seems as if, you know, you said if investment is to happen, would take around 6 months or so. But now, in this contractual agreement, we want to see indications that shows that, as you have said, both the software also should be part and parcel before payment is conducted. Now you realize from 2022 to 2024, we are now in 2025. No payment has been done. And the liability has diverted to another investment. By now, something could have been put to Social Security in regard to this. So we want you to tell us, is this not a loss in the whole thing of this agreement? And again, also, what will the future holds if government is still adamant and said, this agreement is not government working on this road? What thing would you do, to make sure these millions is recovered back to Social Security?
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'm enjoying this show because I take responsibility of things I do. I don't back up. Yes, it was a directive that came to Social Security. But we turned down the directive, said the directive was by 100 bosses, just like the other MPs have been doing. I only told that Manjam bought 25 bosses, 2019. Greenhouse bought 50 bosses, 2013. You can see 2013. But Social Security also lost our directives. When this one came, the same thing came to we said, no, we cannot. But we can only help with the loans because we don't know the need. So if we told to investment, as a businessman, you look for opportunities. That's what you do as a business, you fail. We have to establish internal and external environment. External environment leads to opportunities and threats. Internal, those are strengths and weaknesses. You might them together. So these are external environments giving opportunities to invest more is a week already internal because I have more than close to 500 million land and I cannot invest it, no problem to take it. And this now I can't do anything about it now because it's like in my situation, you can't do much. Going forward with this one, for me is an opportunity. So as a businessman, as a small businessman, if you know what you are really doing, you look forward to it, you take an opportunity. So I saw an opportunity now to turn this investment that I've been looking for all my life, all this while I couldn't get now. I saw an opportunity. And we invested. So it's not a direct investment to bring it. That's why we reduced the amount to 50. That's what we could have afforded. They came and pleaded for another 20 that has to go to the board because that's why the board comes in now. Because you say that it's to go to the board, but like I told you, no term deposit, no treasury bill investment has ever gone to the board, and this was seen in that light. So it was not wrong doing that. But because of the amount involved, and the board made an issue, I apologize to the board. That's why when the SR20 came now, we did not act on it. He said it has to go to the board. We went to the board subcommittee where the PS Finance was present. They look at it, they endorse it. Then that's the time that we gave supply to buy those 2 extra 20 bosses for the UTG, to move to Faraba. So that's how it happened. Yes, you are saying that no payment is done now. That is true. But like I told you, the contract is in stages. You supply the equipment, install the bus stops, supply the detailed thermocal software. It's a whole lot of IT stuff. You have to come and train GTSC staff, how to come and install this, how to come and install that, bring the card. It's a whole lot of digitalization. So it's in stages. Once we have finished payment on the stages now, we formally wrote to government to pay our money. And legally we are on track to pay. Whether they will pay or not, that's what we may control. Do even in normal business, you go to court every day, you see people in court. And the money pass I fail. I mean, when the time I do the pass, it's a general agreement. You give to be paid. So if not paid now, that will be another thing else. That will take it to the board to look at. And the board has already on top of that, they really do discuss with SOE Commission. And SOE Commission is even having a say in that as by the chairman. So, I mean, those things are things that I cannot answer now. Because as far as we're concerned, we have a gentleman agreement that's legally backed, that is legally binding. and then we execute about the contract, we expect government will also execute about the contract just like they do with their treasury bills. If they fail to do that, that is something that I can't answer now. And which route that will take now, I will not be able to say that now, immediately now. That has to also go through some due diligence and due process, to handle that.
Yes, and this is a quick follow-up, because the reason why I asked this, in regard to some of this contractual agreement that you have said, we want you to provide us document base that will show that in this agreement, one, the hardware supply, software has to be completed in all issues in order for payment to kickstart. Because we realize that, for example, if those softwares, what you have said, there's another investment, training of this, putting in and out there. So it will, from 2022 now up to 2024, 2025, you realize that monies are still not to be paid back in anticipation of the completion of the whole agreement. So we want that agreement proper for you to supply to this committee. And again also, how long do you think those software and all these other solutions and in order for Social Security to have again back what they are to pay back to them? Because we see today that it's just like, I don't know what description would I even use for this agreement. Because in hindsight, normal investment, you will not say that at least until everything is completed, then pay me back. Without which, don't. So this is the state that we are. We want document per se that will guide us to get total understanding of this in order for us to have the same number of decisions. If not, I think it's something else.
Thank you. I can answer the question. There is no contract saying that you should pay me this month, this time, this time. That is, if you give a contract to a contractor, you can tell him, foundation pay me this, lender pay me this. This is not about this. When you go to the bank, you take a loan. They pay you per year. You can pay in advance, and if you default, you can pay in advance. You can pay later. What we have to govern is the payment with this is going to be yearly payment. That's the agreement we have with them, and they accept it. Now they did not come forward to pay, and we are still receiving money. We execute until when you freeze that they did not pay. Now we ask them, now you did not pay, but now we are please pay us our money. Whether they are going to pay the whole sum at the same time, whether they are going to pay the stages, that's another thing else. So that I can't provide with any document telling you that yes, going to pay this much this time, this one. That's no. It's not a building contract. It's not a consultancy. It's a loan given to just like go to bank. You take a loan, you pay every month or every year. They did not pay for the first and second year. Now when we finish the contract fully, we now formally request. It's like now the person request government formally that we did not pay. Now we finish. Can you please pay us our money?
Sorry,
yes?
I don't understand this. You've said, as for the agreement, it says take the mic. They should pay, yeah.
That's true.
That's what you agree with government. And they are not working towards that. You are now again digging yourself part again to go and invest more. After which all the process is done, you now request and say pay me back. If they are still adamant, this is the line that we are thinking. Because one, as for the contractual agreement, you should have said that yearly payment, which they don't, you wrote, they don't. What could have stopped you in making sure that we are also not going to go further? And now we see the reaction, this is money. You should have took that step. And why did you do that step?
Well, that's more detrimental than the status quo. But that contract is with you and the supplier. You want to go with the supplier made this number of buses, and their commerce operation, which they supply made the buses, boss of the supplier, go in for the software, they contact the IT experts who are developing this thing. You go 1 year, 2 years, I say that I'm going to stop, and now contact with those people. I mean, business don't go like that, my brother. We do respect. No, we don't do things like that. So what is why they don't do things like that? That's only time to stop. You know they should pay, they did not pay. When I finish, when I ask my money. Simple. Whether they are going to pay or not, that's above me now, but I've asked my money. You have a gentleman agreement.
I mean, you are not a bank.
Thank you.
Yes, my legal man want to add something if you don't mind. The legal man to talk, if you with your permission. Our legal secretary.
Yeah, can he come after?
Okay, sir.
It's gone. It's going.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Let me start with the board chair first on my questions before going further into everything. Chairman, my first question to you is with regards to the board or the digital security of the finance corporation. Was there any policy, investment policy in place? Was there any investment policy in place?
Thank you very much, Honorable. When we came in, there was a draft, and we did the validation at the Ocean Bay. So for now, yes, there is an investment policy, but then that was just a draft.
So before it was just a draft. So we were able to act based on that draft, because it was a draft.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So now you've got the policy now.
Yes.
Can you furnish us with the policy if possible?
Yes, we will make it available.
Thank you. MD, I think based on your explanation, it's very clear that this thing wasn't apparent to you. We were not interested in it because those before you did it and it wasn't possible. We made mention of 50, 25 that we are born. At the end of the day, it was nowhere to be to say it's an investment back to social security. And you will also agree with me that the monies that are to be invested are not government's money per se. They are poor people's money that entrust social security to be there to keep it for them in case they need it. So MD, my question here is, you made mention that there was 500 million lying down there and trying to look for investment because the banks, you were not expecting what you want. But coming to your management report, if you go to the performance of the housing funds, from 2009, that was the last time that social security embarked on housing projects. And I think it would have been very wise to invest that money and get back from the poor people that are giving it to you, than instead leaving that money lying down there, expecting government to come. And the question that I want to raise is, what was the timeline, the duration of the money that was given to government at the initial stage when we were discussing? What was the duration of the contract? How many years would they have been prepared to pay back the money? For how long were they prepared to pay back the money that were taken from you?
5 years.
I think here we have to be very clear here, MD. And the last that they wrote to you, instructing you that GTSC to pay the funds or to shoulder the loan from GTSC. I want to ask the MD of GTSC, his current status now, can he be able to shoulder this loan and pay it back? Can GTSC be able to pay this loan back? Because I think we need to be very clear here. I can only pay money when I have money. But if I am running at a loss, I'm not able to pay money. So, respond after I come back.
Yes, let me take it on board. It's my responsibility. I will also whatever I do, I'm completely good thing, and I will stand by. If I am I'm wrong, then you correct. But I'm not standing. Let me handle it.
Yeah, MD.
Yes, the house.
MD. Can we have the other here? I think yes.
Can I observe something?
Yes, that I want to say.
I just want to make this clarification.
That I want to say.
Social security here, they are headed by the governing board. And the board, that is why we direct all our questions to the board chairperson. That will further delegate any portfolio officer to respond. So that is why he is doing. But generally, they are all meant for them. Because the supreme oversight institution of that particular social security is the board. And the board chair is here. He should be in the position to adequately respond to all the necessary questions that are coming in. If there is a leftover, the portfolio officer can come in. Please, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. But he said, especially question to chair, question to MD. You know, he demarcated it thoroughly. That's why I'm answering. But if you would have I can leave it. But like I said, all I want to prove here is I was MD at the time. It was my hand that does this thing. That is why I'm not shying away from responding to any question that comes from anybody. With due respect. So if you want body, allow me, I can respond to him.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. So you talk about the housing fund, yes. Like I told you, investment is twofold. You have short term, medium term, long term. The investment we are talking about housing investment. There's a long term investment that you cannot take that decision in 1 or 2 or 3 days. I came as MD, within 3 weeks, I find money lying down before I come. And it was piling up. At that time, you do not have the time to sit and do business appraisals, look for a site, and that time housing has nowhere to invest because our land bank sites we don't get title to any land bank site. Competition we are not being received. Communities were protesting, against with new dispensation. When there's democracy now, communities are not protesting on their land. You don't have anything that you can invest within that 10 or 20 days. It will take a minimum of 6 months. And that's why if you see my 1-year report, when I came, I had also that one. I negotiated for Mandinaba about 800 to 900 crores during my time, and I negotiated and finished. If I let me go get my way, I would have been since the year before December the last year. I negotiated for Gunjur 2 crores. One is
Can I observe you there? The one in Mandinaba, what stopped you from doing it now? What stopped you from doing it?
Because going through due diligence, there are some observations that we are waiting. So just to put a comfort zone that we know what we are doing, and I like it to put on our toes, but to put a comfort zone, whatever we are thinking, since we are in there, we are thinking ahead of you, and we are on it. Wallah. So that is why this money is now, you cannot leave it to keep piling and wait for 2 or 3 years to invest. That even during that time period, you are not getting anything on those monies, which is detrimental. So that's why you have to invest those monies in short term and sometimes long term deposit. And those bank terms where banks are not taking at all. Those are only 1%.
Chair, yes. I think we have to be very clear here because according to the MD, yes, he did it because he wants the money to be spent. He did it because he thought government would pay at a short term period. But let's look at it very clearly, MD, and then we take it as our own thing that we need to invest in. MD, I'm not saying government don't pay loans. I'm not saying government don't pay monies when they are giving money. But it is negotiated with me than negotiated with government. And because we are in a rush to say we want the money to come back, now where are we? Government is not paying you. GTSC cannot pay you. Where are we now? On what situation are we now? Was it not wise to spend it for 50 years and start going bit by bit than to give it out and still you are in problem? Because I know GTSC, if this thing is to continue like the way it is, they cannot pay you. Because GTSC is struggling. They don't take the loan. They cannot pay it. They don't take it. GTSC cannot pay you. They are currently struggling. If GTSC cannot pay you and government is not paying you, then that is going to always be, every time it will be in your account. And number 2 also, but here, I think it's going to be very important now as far as you are in this situation. For us, or for me as Serif Sir, if I want to go for the loan, there is something that they ask me. A grant. What bonds me in case of any unforeseen things happens? Where will they lean on? Government controls central bank, MD. At the next time, let them get you something that will guarantee tomorrow. In case they say no, follow it up. Because that can serve you tomorrow and help you tomorrow. But if that is not happening, it's like you're just giving it out, at the end of the day it comes back to you. So my issue here is, what can we do now, currently? What can we do together to make sure that we at least recover? Because if the finance minister was there to say, give it out, why is not the finance minister also starting to say, let's see what we can do? And GTSC did not respond to me. GTSC, where's the MD himself?
We are here.
MD, I don't know if I Jaranko, but respond to me here. MD, what is your current status now? Can you pay this loan? Can you pay it? No. Chair, I can't even follow him respond to me.
Sorry. Yes, before he does that, please allow me to get some of my technical people to respond to some of the issues that you have earlier raised. That when I said you, I mean the members of the National Assembly have earlier raised. And I will first ask our senior counsel, legal officer, Mr. Jati. He has been dying to say something. Can I ask him to deliver what he wanted to deliver, and then I'll ask the Director of Finance and Investment to also add some beef to the bowl.
Yeah, Chairman, we still have some issues that we want to exhaust so that the legal officer can be the last person to respond and give us the legal perspective. First, I want to know how much does Social Security constitute when you come to the share in GDSC, whether it's wholly owned by them or partially owned, and what percentage if so. The other issue I also want to ask.
Yeah, there is only floor.
No, I'm just adding. Wait. They are going to respond.
Yeah, let them respond.
They are going to respond.
Let them respond to that.
Okay, let them respond before the last question.
Well, you add is that they might forget.
Okay, no problem. Come on board, Mr. Chairman. He wanted to give it to the legal officer.
And then the manager over there,
No, for GDSC.
My neighbor.
I did not ask this one.
Honorable, where is your question? Honorable sir, where is your question going to? To the General Manager, GM.
Yes, I wanted to answer one question. There was a question that how long were the funds in the account, in the banks, not invested? Actually, there is a policy in Social Security that there shouldn't be any funds lying anywhere in the account without us investing them.
Yeah.
So the interval between MD Tambedu leaving and MD Malan coming in the last 2 weeks of MD Tambedu, there were some maturities. So when, as soon as even a week before any investment matures, we float out to potential investors, those are the banks or the central bank, for them to invest. So during that time, like 1 week before MD Tambedu left, the maturities, some banks sent in their proposals or offers that they wanted to receive these monies as investment at around 2%. The highest was about 4%. So immediately we received those offers. MD Tambedu was not satisfied because those funds, those rates were too low for us. So as he instructed us to look for other investments, elsewhere. But in that same week, he was removed. And the following week, MD Malan came. So in our handing over or explanation as to why there are monies lying down, we explained to him that we had monies in the bank which were not invested because of these reasons. So that was the time when he just came in. After 1 week, he also got this offer from the government. So it was not that it was lying down there for a long time. It was just about a month or so, which don't normally happen.
No, I mean, Director.
Yes.
Yes, there was a proposal from the bank.
Yes.
It was 4%.
Yes.
Government came with what? 6%. When they came with that 4%, did you invite them to negotiate?
No, we don't normally invite anybody to negotiate. And also, what happens in finance department, what we do is we just send the proposals to the MD. He has the right to approve. So as soon as we did not get the approval, So it means the monies were still in the bank. That was 1 week into Tambedu's time. So immediately after that 1 week, MD Malan came in as the new MD.
Yes, I mean, that was fine. I think my question here is very clear. You know, according to you,
yes.
You first did the advertisement. Banks came in, some offered 2, and then the highest one was 4%.
Yes.
And I'm going to say, what point again to say at least whether we can have people who got more than this?
Yes.
And the man came. During his time, government came with about 6%.
Yes.
I think it was very wise when government came with 6%. That's the only bank to say, come in, there's an offer on the table. Because the offer with the bank would have been easier than the offer with the government to be risky.
Yeah, but at that time, I don't think we were looking at what is risky, what is...
So we are only one.
Yeah, so the thinking was not the same. It's like if we had known, we wouldn't have known.
Okay.
At that time, we couldn't have known.
Chairman, what year?
Yes, sir.
What year you are the guy behind the source of North Bank in this country?
Thank you.
The knowledge and everything that you bring to South Bank, they are here now being certificated and giving the best bank in West Africa. Chairman, I think it's important to look at this thing.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think it's, I don't know, some of you might know about this game called the American football.
Yes.
You don't be a Monday night quarterback. You have to be on the because if they say you're a Monday night quarterback, it means you have a hindsight, you know everything. If we had known, we would not have gone into this. Now, government is seen as the last person, because they are the ones also who are guaranteeing all the treasury bills that we are hearing and all the bonds that we are hearing. If that one comes to you and say, I will pay you, I don't think any of us at the material time would deny that they would not pay. At the material time, I'm putting this into context. At the material time, government is the guarantor of treasury bills, is the guarantee of all bonds issued by the central bank. If they come to you and you say, I'm giving you a loan, and he says, yes, I will pay you, I don't think there is anything that we could have said at that time to say no. But let me just stretch it a little bit further. When this thing started, I personally made several moves to talk to the minister, and I haven't had any invitation to that. Now, the problem here is, you wrote to us, we wrote to you, we agreed for a loan, and the loan should be repaid at this stage. Now, I think it was misunderstood when the MD says that after we had finished paying. No, a lump sum was approved, and it was disbursed as and when it should be disbursed. The final disbursement was done when the cards and all the things were in place, meaning we had completed what we agreed to do, the amount. Now it's for government to say, yes, we should have given you this in 2020 or 2022, but we didn't because of X, Y, and Z. My intervention was that we are not making any headway. I thought, since I don't like the word directive, I don't think it was a directive for me. I think they were looking for funds, and we say we have funds and you have to be paid. We are lending it to you and you pay us when it is due. Now, when they wanted to change the borrower from government to GTSC, we say no. And GTSC replied that they never borrowed from us. So we are caught between a rock and a hard place. And we know who we gave the money to. So we had to resort to the Ministry of Finance because Vice President's office had Ministry of Finance there when these things were all happening. My intervention was to go, not incognito, but to talk to the minister to say, look, this is what is happening. It has derailed some benefits of these people here sitting. Where they should have had bonuses, they were not given the bonuses because of this. So we are I don't want to say we are the guinea pigs, but we are found to be changed in this episode. And my problem is you had said that it's going to be in the budget. The budget came out, it is not there. My problem therefore is, as somebody asked earlier, I have forgotten, we have resolved that government, let them forget about coming to Social Security. Because once beaten, twice shy. We have been beaten before, we thought it has changed, but we are beaten again. So it's a no-go area for them.
Yes, board chair, honorable chair, yes. To be honest, we are not trying to put Social Security at any funny situation. For me, personally, my problem is for monies to be sitting in the bank without investment. But I do know, and I'm saying it on record, all the transaction from the government whatsoever was all political. They're just trying to put Social Security at ransom, right? Because this pronouncement was made by a president prior to even you giving this loan, that they will buy buses, okay? And even after that, what if Social Security take, how to call it, a loan from, so the GTSC takes loan from the Social Security. Why is the head of state sitting in the buses and rounding the entire country? Just to show that I bought 70 buses? And in turn, the question Honorable asked, no, let's just tell the truth. The question Honorable asked, Social Security, on the budget, Gambia government owes GTSC more than $30 million through university or through the how to call it, Ministry of Higher Education for the buses. Yes, I saw it in the budget. I saw it in the budget, 30 million plus. So you are owing those people with that much of money. And they are providing public transport to the citizens. You are yet to pay that, and you are in fact increasing it more and more. Now you took over 10 million euros. You want to divert that to those people. Where are they getting that funds from to pay that? We recently promulgated an SOE bill, State of Enterprise, that talks about all these things. All these irregularities, we thought we are regulating them. And along the line, all these things are happening. And we are not going to adopt this report without this being cleared. We will invite the minister to have these things cleared before we proceed to anything. Because anybody who fails to do due diligence, as far as this transaction is concerned, will be found liable. And we are not going to take it light. Unless we cannot do anything, but we will do all what we could do as members of parliament. But we know that the government is trying to play with all of us, and we will never accept it. Oh, come on.
Wait. I think I want us to observe. No, I know before you come to your observation. We are dealing with the Social Security. And I understand, let us limit our statement related to Social Security and the content of the report before us. Whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, we are going to report to the plenary, and we are going to decide based on the recommendation and the resolutions. So let us be very much conscious, and let us not be temperamental. What is here, it affects everybody. And I know. So, and I don't want anybody to make any preconceived mind before we get to there. Let's do things together. Yes, before I come there, I have one question. No, that's a pending question.
No, it's not a pending question. My one is a pending question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, GTSC, continue.
You see, the issue may be, you should not always mention politics in this president.
No,
please, can we have one? Yes, MD.
Yes, good afternoon. And Honorable Chair, thank you, and Honorable Sir and others. Just to shed some light on these 70 buses that GTSC is operating as the beneficiary. I think we all agreed, the MD of Social Security and the board chair stated that we never requested for this loan, GTSC as a company. Even though we were at that time very hungry for fleet expansion. Fleet was actually down. So we were engaging in stakeholders to see how to expand our fleet. This came our way. Of course, as the beneficiary or the operator, we accepted it. But we hope that government will go by what it promised based on the letter. But along the way, there was a twist. There was a twist from the side of government when we had some meetings at OP, myself, the MD of Social Security and others, that look, GTSC is making mega profits, they should be in position to pay this money. See, that was the illusion in town, that we are very rich, because they never had us talking about taking overdrafts and so on. But we are just prudently managing our meager resources, just to ensure that we never run out of fuel, we never default on paid salaries and so on. We do on a very tight rope. We said, no, admittedly, we are the operators and indirectly the beneficiaries. Whatever monies those bosses generate, we manage them, we earn them. But we go back and assess ourselves financially and see what we can handle based on our commitments and our ability to generate X millions based on our operational plans. We did that and got back to government and wrote to them that yes, we have to assess ourselves. We could handle so much of the total load. And the balance, by the way, before that, when we received that letter redirecting loan to GTSC, we responded and said, yes, we can handle it depending on what we are capable of. And we wrote back to government that yes, we can do this. So after the assessment, we came up with what we think we could handle. And we wrote to government, and government accepted that yes, you can pay what you can pay based on your capability, and the balance we will step in form of subsidy support for you. Subsidy support for GTSC. That was indefined. It could take the form of fuel subsidy or tax breaks or other means, or even direct cash disbursement from government to GTSC or to Social Security. We agreed on that. Letters are there. I think we can provide that to the parent company for your review or view. We are hoping that this will be resolved, but government never got back to us to say, well, your proposal is now accepted. Let's start hitting the ground. Only when we started knocking at their doors for the services we've been rendering to them through the Ministries of Education, Basic and Secondary and Higher Education. The whole of 2023, part of 2023 and the whole of 2024, government failed to pay us for the two services, higher education and lower basic. As we speak, the total is around $70 million. $70 million.
On the budget, it was
we even one time scaled down our operations for UTE, those who sent a signal. And there was nearly a national crisis, I'm sure you were aware. Deliberately, we did not send a signal. But along the way, because of national interest, we had to kind of review ourselves and say, okay, we are deploying full time, and they promised that they will pay part of what they owed us. Up to today, nothing paid yet. But let me say this for the records. that GTSC, we are willing to commit ourselves to what we indicated that we will handle as part of that loan, because we are the operators. But government is expected to fulfill its obligation. We have signed contract with Ministry of Education, the two Ministries of Education, transport for students, and they want to link the two, which we said they are not linked. Pay us our money, we pay Social Security. That's a commitment we have indicated in our letters. Yes, but as we speak, there is a stalemate. Government is not coming forward to fulfill its bid, and we are being conditioned, unfortunately, to continue rendering service to students without the road being paid to us. If we stop it, there will be national calamity, and also it's unfortunate that we are in this situation. We are not saying we are not going to pay, but we cannot pay all the loan because we don't have the capability to pay the total amount. We indicated to government what we would pay.
Okay.
Director, you made mention that you indicated to government this is how much you can pay. How much is the amount you are going to pay?
No, it's a percentage of the amount.
What percent?
16%.
16. And that was what was agreed.
No, I just use a follow-up. It's wait, I have another.
With the MD,
Yeah,
with your boss.
We always pay the cover.
So see that is for nothing now?
No. What is happening now? We had a meeting with them in early January at the office of the. We had a meeting with the Minister of Finance at the office of the Vice President, and we agreed that we are going to meet in January on the way forward on this matter. So we are very busy. So we are now engaging to see what is possible for this February for the meeting on the final agreement with them, based on our proposal and their agreement. Then we move on.
Yes.
MD, I think as far as they propose 16% to you, why can't they start paying us 16% and you start collecting from them, small, bit by bit, before the agreement is being finalized?
Government is more like
they always money. So you want to knock it off?
Not at all.
You want to knock it off? No, what I'm saying, you want to knock it over?
We don't want to link them. We don't want to link them.
You want to link them?
We don't want to link them.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I still have a pending question. What percentage here do you hold in GDSC? The other question is, in the whole contract process, how much have you spent in euros? Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
The other question is, how much have you spent in the whole contract in euros?
Okay, I'll leave that.
And what is your investment return? What are you expecting as investment return?
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
With all due respect, what we were expecting, we had said it. It's 6%.
No, monetary terms, how much is that? How much have you spent plus the 6%?
I think we had spent the whole 9.8 million euros.
The whole 9.8 million euros?
Yeah.
Okay.
And beyond.
How about the shareholding?
The shareholding, how should I put it? I think we own 100%.
100%?
Yes. No. The reason why I said it's difficult, but in a nutshell, it's 100%. Because we own an Ocean Bay. And Ocean Bay is a subsidiary of us. And the two put together is 100%. So I'm saying we own 100%.
Okay.
Is that...
Take it easy, we'll all come. Yes.
Chairman, I think we have a very clear head.
Very small.
Because I think if you remember last year, I raised it before. If you own GTS as part of your management, and government also took a loan from you to start to get those boys and give it to GTSC, where are we? Something that belongs to you. I came to you and take the money from you and give it back to you. It would have been very wise to say GTSC, MD, Social Security, buy bus and give it to GTSC. They're coming for an agreement to say we pay this.
Honorable Sir, I think both have independent boards. It's not like I have two sons, and the one son is borrowing from the older brother, and the older brother is borrowing from me.
Well, the grandfather is the MD for Social Security. He's the grandfather.
Okay.
MD, you are the grandfather. You are the one in charge. So they are
on a more serious note, that could not have been done, because each of them has independent boards, and they are to be managed by the board.
That should be resolved, Chair. That should be resolved. Because the MD is, for me, MD is the one in charge. Yeah. MD oversees all this area. MD?
Technically, yes.
Let me ask the MD. I know the one who is the one controlling.
Yeah. No. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, but like I said, this is a separate legal entity. That means that it's a human being of its own. So we do not control what you do at the money. All we want is what we do. And going back to the question of directive, yes, I don't deny it's not directive. It's a directive is true. But directive now is now changed into business opportunity.
It's changed now.
To a business opportunity.
Okay.
Which they accept.
Okay.
We all need yes, but if you see we don't buy bosses, just like others, because we know that we are already, our hands are tied. We want to put enough there. So we want to put our money elsewhere also, to diversify. But since it is in their interest to do that now, then they can take a loan and do, because also they are doing a public service. So that is it. But we don't control them. Most of the meetings that they attend sometimes goes alone. Because I can't be referred at the same time. They go and do their activity on what they can do. But I know the facility in there, but I look at the financial account. I want to look for how I didn't get for the pensions. So I cannot also tell them to force them to do what they cannot do. So when it comes to that, I let them take their decision. This is what they can do, they know to go. And in my mind, I made very clear, you can agree with them, but they are a separate legal entity. But they are set up to make money for us, to pay for our investment so that we can pay for the
But they submit their accounts to you. They submit their accounts to you.
Yes, I see over there, the board here. I make sure that they are in trouble, they are not there to make profit.
Chair. Yes. SOE guy is here. Mr. Bai, I think after you help us here. For Social Security and then
Go on. Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chairman, this one I would just want the MD, because he said Manjang bought 25, Manjang bought 25 buses.
Yes, 2019.
Then you bought 50, meaning it's 75 buses. Am I right?
Different time frames. Different time frames.
50.
You heard me?
Yes, I just wanted to make some clarification. These are different time frames.
Yes.
These are different time frames.
Yeah, but because the MD mentioned, this process started before he came.
Yes.
Before he came, he found that Manjang bought 25.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Then he bought 50.
Okay.
Meaning it's 75 buses. It's not 70 buses.
No. That's why I'm saying the time.
They are different. Okay.
They are different.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
My other question is maybe either the MD or the chairman. Because when you are investing, you are taking money to make an investment. And Social Security you receive pensioners' money. If you are in the process of investing, do you have a risk analysis unit at the Social Security to analyze the risks involved in the investment before going in for the investment? Because the reason why I am asking this, history, because I have been in Parliament almost for 15 years, I have seen the amount of money Social Security as an institution is losing to government. This Qatari investment, the ferries, how to call NAWEC, Gamtel, Social Security lose a lot of money from these various sister institutions or government institutions. For me, I believe you were having a concrete evidence to say government, no, we cannot, because you owe us this amount of money. Before I will give you this amount of money, pay me what you owe me. So I don't know whether the action was you were put under duress or you don't analyze the risks involved in this thing. Because if I listen to the finance director who said the bank requested the funds, but with a small profit of 4%, and government came in with 6%, the banks is safer when it comes to investment. You can park your money, you go and sit down comfortably with that 4%. Today you could have made a huge amount of money, rather than take it to somebody, that government, that is owing you millions of dollars, giving it to them. So do you have any risk analysis unit at the Social Security before you invest the money?
Thank you very much, Honorable, for that question. I must say to you, yes, we do have risk analysis being done by the investment unit, but I'm qualifying it. This is a caveat. When this was being done, the investment department was not fully operational, and this was not an investment. This was a loan. This was a loan. So that loan is what had now been turned into an investment, which we are desisting from accepting that.
No, but Chairman.
Yes, sir.
My first question when I asked why the board was not involved before signing the contract, you told us it's because of it is an investment.
I said, I can say this again. We don't, as a board, get involved in when we are investing in government sureties, because we know government is the last resort. Even for the central bank, government is the last resort. So therefore, to come back again and to try to interject, as I say, we could not play as a Monday night quarterback. If we had known, we would not have. So it's, I believe in one thing, and that is everybody, every human being should be given a second chance. I believe that every human being should be given a second chance. Not because I was fired at Trust Bank, therefore I should not work at Joiner's business. No. The things are different. We expect that the modus operandi will be different. And that's why the investment or the loan was handed over. But when we saw the way it was progressing, that's why we allowed the auditor, the external auditor, to put it in the accounts verbatim and the correspondence, because we want transparency. We don't want to be seen as it is shelved under the carpet. We want it to be open. And as I've told you earlier on, I took it upon myself to make a personal plea to go and approach. We even wrote letters to the ministry. If government is the last resort and they are behaving like this, so it means that we could not do anything, any business with government in that like manner.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I think, Board Chairman, I don't know what adjective would I use, whether the government has did a Maradona thing to Social Security, where now you realize that you're sitting on the fence. Looking at, as you have said, it will not be again. It has happened and happened and happened again and again. The current status quo from old to new government in terms of using Social Security as a basket into a lot of issues that we are seeing. And I want to wonder this. I can take a classical example of Gamtel. It was also the same case. The monies of Gateway were still reloaded back to them. And you've also said that 100% is GTS to Social Security. In the look of things, it's also saying the same thing, that give your son to grow. And in that growing, you're now saying your son to pay back what you give him or her. And even if it's going to happen, as what the MD of GTS said, a 16% to this amount, how much? And who will be liable for another percentage? And in that documental agreement is wholly and solely government to pay back. But you see now they're also running against sideways to link with GTS and call an amount, and availability of another amount also will be another trial. Now, you have a legal unit at Social Security, is it true? Now, in the whole process, do you anticipate some of those things in the legal department to be able to foresee, to see this, that this may arise to this? And if it is so, I want to be guided, because when you look at the whole thing, and this may link to bankruptcy, this amount upon all trials of years is still not available. As what MD has said, they'll finish the software process, everything. It will still be a problem. So if this issues is not much clear, we want you to tell us what position would Social Security take in order to see a recovery of this money is put in place.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for your intervention. Our prayer today in front of this committee is for them. We have said this at the SOE Commission, I'm saying it here, that the only avenue left after trying to engage them is to take them to court. But can you take your government to court?
Why not?
No, I'm just asking. I'm not a legal person. Now, the thing is, as I've said, government is the last resort for any financial institution that is going bankrupt in this country. We have seen, I have lived enough to have seen a couple of banks that have gone under. Okay? And the payment of the assets of those people who had monies in those banks is not dalasi for dalasi. It could have been 25 butus for a dalasi. So you've lost 75% of your value of your money because that bank has gone under. We don't want that to happen to us. That's why we are saying respectfully to you that the budget should be scrutinized for the Ministry of Finance. These are debts that the government incurred. They should have been provided for. That's why we are appealing to this august body to assist in helping us to recover our funds. Because we loan them. We loan them. And we expect them to be paid. As I've said, we all here will need a second chance, whether it's now or whether it's later. And so too the government needs a second chance, and that's why we involve ourselves in this second chance.
Yes, sir.
Don't mind the floor. Chairman, I have a question that I want to ask here, if possible, for the chair to refer himself back to the financial statement on page 37. Just want to ask if possible, is it a true statement?
It is related to this.
Yeah, it is same here. On page 37.
Yes.
Gambia Transport Service Corporation. Do you see the last one?
Yeah.
Is this statement true, Chair? Is this statement in line with what we are this morning? Is it the reality on the ground?
Yeah.
Financial.
That's
financial.
Mr. Honorable, yes, that is what I explained here. I said I think it's 39% owned by Social Security, 99, and the 1% is owned by Ocean Bay.
It's 99% owned by Social Security.
Yes, and 1% by Ocean Bay, and Ocean Bay is owned 100% by us.
Yeah, I think this where government is hooking you. This where they want to hook you.
Sorry?
The government is trying to shoulder it back to you.
Well,
I think they want to leave on here and say, no, this is your property.
Yeah,
but you bought the bosses and now take care of yourself. I think this is what they are using against you.
I think that would be a mistake. Because
I mean, if you want, I'm also trying to look at the legal aspect of it. I mean, where's the legal guy?
That's him, Mr. Jaite.
Mr. Jaite, can you help me here, please? What do you think that we can do? Because if chairman is saying that they want us to help them, and I'm seeing this, can you please guide us through?
Mr. Jaite.
Yes, Jaite.
Pass the mic. Good.
He's with you. Illegal officer.
It's a jarang, I don't mind.
Yeah, okay. Can you help us? Because this thing is confusing.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Unfortunately, what we can do is to use diplomatic means because Social Security is set up by the government. We are an act of parliament, so it means that we do not even take an action against the government.
Can you increase your voice, please, so that you can
you can go to the mic.
Speaking in the mic.
Yes.
What I said earlier was, what we can do now is to use diplomatic channels, that is to engage the relevant authorities. Because we are all aware that Social Security has been established by an act of parliament, which is owned by the government. So Social Security is 100% government. So if we are 100% government, it means that we cannot sue government because we'll be suing ourselves. So what we can do now is to use diplomatic channels. And as you earlier alluded, that a lot of public enterprises are on Social Security. But sometimes government will come and show some of these loans, like for instance, direct inspection. It is the Ministry of Finance that is shouldering the loan now. So all that we can do is to take diplomatic channels as opposed to taking them to court. If we cannot do it, I would not advise the corporation to use that device. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Kenan, I think the example you quoted it might be different because the things what we said before Yeah. Just wait. Let me just.
No, I just want to.
I just ask. Just wait here. Give you a chance to talk about. NAVEC is not part of Social Security. No. NAVEC is outside the umbrella of Social Security. Yes. GTSC is part of Social Security. And by looking at this statement here, it's saying that GTSC is 99% owned by Social Security. So if government is coming to take a loan and say, give this boy to GTSC, it's like press feeding from this press and then transfer to another press. So this, if you want to come in here and help us as a legal guy, do you think that if you want to rely on this, will you be able to push it out for you?
You know, this is an audit opinion. So the party is entitled to this opinion. But for me, I beg to differ. You know, let me say that GSC is a legal entity. So for me, I always see them as separate. Though some people might disagree with me. Because GDSC is established as a private liability company. And Social Security is not 100%. It was not 100% owned GDSC. It's just 99%. Ozone Bay is a company of its own. It can be sued and it can sue. It can own properties, it can also dispose of properties without Social Security intervention. So when you look at the shareholding of Ozone Bay itself, it's 99% and 100% of pensioners association. So for me, I always see GDSC as separate. That's why they have separate management. If you want to go deeper into corporate liability, you have to look at who exercises the degree of control. Social Security have no control over GDSC. They are in charge of their own operations, their own finances. They do things on their own. Even now, when Social Security wants to get a boss, we have to say GDSC to get that service.
Yeah, can I allow you also to help me with this thing, with this please? What is an opinion from him? Can you please rely on this, please?
No, Honorable Chair, you know what? Where is problem? We asked the legality of this transaction. That was a question. What were some of the legalities of this transaction? What can you explain about the legal issue? You are not a moral officer. You are a legal officer. So diplomatic things are the last point. We're asking about the legality and the legal, due diligence that is put in place as far as this transaction is concerned. So you, the legal officer, saying until we employ diplomatic things, that's not your role here as we are asking. We're asking the due diligence as the legal transaction of this thing is concerned. So you should have told us that. So that's what the questionnaire is trying to question.
So please take your point for understanding the question.
Yes, perfect.
Because I think the question was, he referred to section 47. The last part, where we says that GDS is 100% owned by Social Security. That was what I was explaining. But if you want to know the legality of this entire transaction, I will first clarify to say that I came in 2023 when this thing happened. It was done in 2022. However, I was privy to all the documents. I have reviewed them, and this transaction is legal. To me, it is legal, and this is my honest opinion. Anywhere that you call me, I will defend myself, and if I'm given the documents, I can clearly interpret them. Because what happened was, the quote-unquote, the directive that came, to me, it was an offer. Social Security writing and accepting, that is an offer, acceptance. Social Security going further to finance the purchase of those buses was consideration. So there is valid contract. It doesn't depend which format you use. These three elements suffices for a valid contract code. So if you want for an agreement to be signed, that would have been done. But if you are looking for a contract, all these three elements, they have been established. That's my opinion.
That's fine. So, can you help me? Give it to him. Give him the mic.
The mic is before you.
Yes, sir. No, it's open.
This is good.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So with regard to the legal points you mentioned, yes, indeed. Those three factors consider in legal terms a contract. But as auditors do, we have a right to confirm from the third party if you accept this loan, if you accept this facility. So we sent an independent information to the government of the Gambia during the audit, and we had no response. So to summarize it from our end as auditors, the government has not accepted this liability to pay this loan back to the corporation.
Yeah, if I may clarify something that I wanted to clarify, because it keeps on coming. The board chairman has been subjected to a lot of questions regarding why this particular loan or investment has not been taken to board for approval. If you look at our section 4, section 1 says, the corporation has the following functions, which are defined under the Act and the regulation. And if you go further to subsection E, it is saying that investments can be done by the corporation. If you go further down, there are investments that need to go to the board before approval is granted. That is housing and real estates. Before those investments are done, they have to go to board for board to bless them. But for any other investment, as per my interpretation of those subsections and paragraphs, any other investment which does not go on housing or real estate, they can be done by management. So in this regard, I don't think it necessarily has to go to the board for the board to approve this one, because since this is a financial investment, which has not been clearly stated out in the Act that is to go to the board for approval. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yes?
Yeah, man. He responded already. He responded. He responded. I think Bai is here.
Before you go there, let's exhaust what we want.
No, it's on the same thing that we are referring to, because I'm much worried about this loan issue. Because this loan is like it's sitting on the fence. And if you are telling me on this page here that GTSC was before Government Transport GPDC, the name is changed by who? Social Security. That I am owing this, I own 99% of this. Now 1% is owned by who? Ocean Bay. And that Ocean Bay is still owned by who? Social Security. So if the government is saying they are not paying, they cannot pay, it's like they are not owing. It was from A and given to B. B should take care of the rest. So by what do you advise us to do here? Because if you want to help Social Security, how can we help them?
No. I think for that, they should not be talking.
Yes.
They should not be talking?
They should not be
discuss with them.
They should leave this one?
No.
Give me the mic. They should.
The mic who? This one?
Bring my mic.
It is your mic?
Be careful of the language, huh?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few questions for the legal officer. According to the Social Security Act, I quite agree with you. It's an act of parliament. It was established by this National Assembly. But what I want to understand, is it owned by the government or by the pensioners, according to the Act?
You mean the ownership of Social Security?
Exactly.
It is a government institution. If you look at the definition under the public enterprise.
Yes, partly owned or wholly owned by
partly
the government.
or wholly.
Exactly.
This one, we can say is 95% owned by government, because if you look at the composition of the board,
yes,
who appoints the chairman is the president. The ex officios is the president by default. By value of their appointment.
In fact, I'm talking about the provision in the Act. In the Act. The shareholders.
Okay, it says, I'm reading at section 3, establishment of Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. One says there is established by this Act, the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. 2, the corporation is body corporate with perpetual succession and common seal and may A, sue or be sued in its corporate name, B, enter into contracts and acquire, hold or dispose of property, and C, so far as is possible for a body corporate, exercise the rights, powers and privileges and incur the liabilities and obligations of natural person of full age and capacity. So if you look at this, it is saying that Social Security is established by an act of parliament, and it can become a legal entity with all powers, privileges, and whatsoever that is supposed to have. So if you look at the composition, because for me, I look at the governance structure of every institution, that will determine who controls what. If the chairman is appointed by the president, two ex officios, that is the line ministry, which is finance, and lands, they are all ex officio members automatically by value of their position. Then you have 3 other elected members, which are elected among the pensioners, the provident fund holders, and also the federal pension scheme. So you look at majority of people that are under the federal pension scheme. These are people employed by public enterprises. So still now, when you look at it, to an extent, you realize that government workers outnumbered the independent people that sit at the board. You look at the managing director, who is also a member of the board. It's appointed by the president. You look at the secretary of the board, who should be a staff of the corporation. And the director is appointed by the board of directors. So still now we are looking at social security as part and parcel of course.
Anyway, you are entitled to opinion, which I may not object.
Thank you.
You're looking at the area of the whole operation and the managing mechanism of social security. But if you talk about social security, who are contributing to that? The funds they are managing come from people, and they uphold an integral component of it. So that is why, let's forget about the operational nature. As a state, they are a state-owned enterprise. And according to 176 of the Constitution, it's very clear. The president appoints the MD and the board chairperson. Until when we got in the state-owned enterprises. But notwithstanding, the pensioners we are talking about, all the funds that they are managing, to multiply, add something, at the end of their retirement, they have their take-home, a very good take-home expected from them. So this is what we are looking at in that dimension. Yes, the management and the governing board may have appointment directly coming from the executive branch, precisely the president. But when you come to the ownership, it's the pensioners. These are the people that are putting in their money.
No, for me, if you want to talk about pensioners, yes. I always advise people to say, to define our core mandate. Defining core mandate and social security is different. One of our mandate is to provide pension for people at point of retirement.
Exactly.
That is one. But there are other components, housing, which is one of our core mandates. In fact, it is provided in the act that before investment is done for housing or real estate, it's go to the board.
No, I don't want us to go deeper. Because the purpose of housing is to maximize profit for the pensioners and their monthly contributions.
To provide
all the investments are related to increase the fund for the pensioners. Yeah. Okay. So, in fact, I don't want us to go into a detail. But what is important? I want to emphasize the most important component of the social security. People are putting in their money with the expectation that at the end of retirement, they should have a very good compensation take home in order to go and relax. And that is why social security has been established. It's the government that does it. Government has that promise. But when you come to the contribution, it's purely there. So I think at this juncture, let us break for 10 minutes. We'll have some discussion, then we can come and continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the house resume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We met as a committee to discuss about the way forward in respect to this report. And finally, we agreed to reschedule this particular meeting where we will involve some stakeholders due to the severity of the content of this report. And we want to brief you on the 17th at 10 a.m. prompt, including the finance minister and the office of the vice president should be represented, so that we have a discussion dealing with the severity of the content of this report, to carve a way forward and see how are we better going to support social security and going forward to avoid the issue of presidential directives in your domain.
Administration.
The administration has to be independent, especially with regards to the plight of the taxpayers who are directly dealing with you. So that is our position, and that's what we've agreed. And on that note, I want somebody to move a motion for us to adjourn till on the 17th at 10 a.m. prompt. 17th January.
Yes, 17th February.
Yes, I hereby move a motion.
Any second?
Again, 17th January.
It has been moved and seconded. We've adjourned to 17th January. February. The House adjourned.